Well, Buen Camino Pilgrims, I'm Jeremiah Gibbs and I am your Camino guide, and today I have 4 money saving tips, the top 4 tips that I use to be able to save money when I walk Camino de Santiago, and I hope that these will be helpful for you if you are trying to plan your pilgrimage on a budget. So each of these 4 tips is going to be aimed at one of the largest budget categories for Camino de Santiago. If you need help budgeting, then I'll put a link in the description to my video that helps with budgeting the entire Camino. But the 4 largest areas, I've got one tip to address each one of those. For most American pilgrims, the most expensive thing that you're going to spend your Camino budget on is going to be your airfare. I've got an entire video dedicated to how you can save money on airfare. I'll put the link up above for that and in the description of the video. But just the kind of short of it is, it really matters if you go in a shoulder season rather than in the middle of the summer. The tickets near the beginning and end of the summer, kind of in spring and fall, are going to be quite a bit more affordable. That's certainly a great way to save money. I also recommend using one of the applications that will track an airfare over an extended period of time, because if you know when you're going, then the time that you either getting a airfare sale or buying your ticket about 2 months before you leave, both are good ways to be able to save money on airfare. And because that's such a huge part of your ticket, of your Camino budget, then that's going to be a great place to save money. And I would recommend checking out that other video to get the details on how to do that well. The second tip that I have for you to be able to save money goes from another very large area of your budget, which is your Camino gear. If you want to save money on your pilgrimage, then one of the best things that you can do is to borrow some of the expensive items for your Camino gear. You may find it difficult to borrow shoes from another, either past pilgrim or from a friend, but certainly if you can find someone who has shoes that fit you, then great, that may work for you. But probably the 2 biggest items cost-wise that you might be able to borrow is, first of all, your pack. Pack is a very expensive item. You may be able to borrow those from a friend. You may be able to borrow one from a pilgrim in your local American Pilgrims on the Camino chapter. There may be a number of ways that you could get in touch with other pilgrims who would be able to help you borrow a backpack. Now, you may also be able to borrow trekking poles, although there are cheap options on trekking poles in Spain. You also could borrow trekking poles. Those are kind of an expensive item unless you buy just the really budget in Spain. There are another number of other items that you might be able to save money on simply by getting items in your closet, whether that's athletic wear or things like that. But certainly saving money on gear is going to be one of the best ways to save money on your Camino. If you're getting value from this video, please click the like button. That helps me by sending this video out to other YouTubers. And if you are planning a Camino, then click the subscribe button. I make videos every week helping you plan and arrive at Santiago de Compostela. So please click the like button so that we can help you get to Santiago as well. Another big budget category for your Camino is going to be your food. And normally your breakfast and your lunch are usually pretty affordable anyway. Even if you're stopping at a bar for a sandwich or something like that, those are usually fairly affordable, maybe 4 or 5 euros for a sandwich in a bocadillo in a bar. But you certainly could save money by going to the grocery and getting your own items for lunch. But dinner is going to be an even bigger way to save money, is eating out of a grocery store, that kind of a thing. Now, one thing that I'll say is that at least during COVID right now, many of the albergues have closed their kitchens to food preparation. So it used to be that you would be able to group together with some other pilgrims and prepare a meal together in the kitchen of your albergue. That really isn't happening anymore during COVID, and I assume at some point it will open back up again. But at least right now, then probably if you're going to be getting your own dinners, you're going to need to eat things that are cold or quick quick out of the grocery stores and so on. But definitely your pilgrim meal, even the budget pilgrim meals, are usually about 10 or 12 euros, and you can probably eat at the grocery store for just a few euros of cheese and bread and that kinds of things. So certainly that is a great way to save quite a bit of money, is eating your dinners or maybe even some of your other meals from a grocery rather than from the bars. And the fourth place that you can save money is going to be when you do your sort of luxury night in the hotels or in private rooms. Most pilgrims like to take at least once in a while to be able to stay in a private room. If you're going to do that, one of the best ways to save money is to pair up with somebody else that you've come to trust while you're on the Camino. Get a shared room with them and be able to share the cost of that room with them. So then it's still private. You have your own bathroom time, all that kind of thing, but you're sharing the cost of that with one other person. It's going to be fairly difficult to save money just on your nightly accommodations. Certainly you can stay in municipals and some of the cheaper albergue stays rather than, let's say, a private. But even there, you only save about 4 euros a night to stay in the municipal instead of a private, but that is a little bit of savings on just staying in the least expensive albergues, but probably the bigger expense is going to come whenever you try to do a private room for a night that you want to just be able to relax. Best to do that with someone else that you've come to trust on Camino. So those are my big 4 budget saving tips that address each of the areas of the big 4 on your budget. I hope that you'll check out my dedicated video to Camino budgeting. I'll put the link in the description as well as up above. So check out that for more help on budgeting, and buen Camino.